3 o'clock, great to have you with us. We've got people who want to rap about college football. I'm going to get to you guys. Just give me a second because I kind of want to, I'll add this to the mix, and you're free to comment on this as well. Can we mix in, along with the SEC going to 9 games and what I think it means and where it leads to the eventual creation of this Big Ten SEC Super League, breaking away from the NCAA since they've fully shown their ass they're useless. And look, I want to know if that's ultimately what you want, or will you be more interested in that if that is what they present to you as college football? But do we have the audio of Urban Meyer? All right, so here's the deal. I'm not doing this the way Rieger did because I don't want this to be combative. I don't think it needs to be. You're never going to convince me of certain things, and I'm not going to bother convincing you. We are past that, okay? Last Friday marked the end point for me. Now, my problem isn't with what Urban Meyer said. It's when he's chosen to say it. So I'm going to play this for you. But basically, Urban believes Jim Harbaugh should be suspended by Roger Goodell. The groundwork for that was laid way back when Jim Tressel, who was with the Indianapolis Colts at the time, was suspended for the fallout of Tattoo-Gate, when players were selling pants for tattoos, okay? Now, obviously, that was almost not quite 20 years ago, but close. But two, this is an interesting time for Urban to say this. So just hold, please. Let me play this audio, and then I'll explain my. Okay, so what pod is that from? So at least I can.
The triple option.
Sure. Here's my problem. Urban, where were you the last 2 years on TV? Where were you the last 2 years? Sitting up on that god-awful Big Noon show. Where were you to talk about the cheating? Where were you to say anything? Or better yet, if we want to say, okay, fine, you can't hold that against them, why don't you bring that same energy when they kick off and they're in Michigan Stadium and Dave Portnoy's sitting next to you? Go ahead and say that on TV. Otherwise, put a sock in it. I don't know what the hell the triple option pod is. I don't know if America does. But the point is, your biggest platform is the one you've chosen silence. So I don't respect you. No, it's not about whether Harbaugh should be suspended or not. He should. In fact, the NFL has said they're not going to be a safe harbor for cheaters. But I don't expect it, nor am I wasting a second of my emotion on it. It's not even about what he says being right or wrong. Where have you been, Herbs? Where you been? Anyone with a brain, a.k.a. outside of Ann Arbor, knows what went down, knows they cheated. We didn't need the NCAA report to crystallize that. Where you been? That's my problem. If you weren't going to talk about it in real time, why are you talking about it now? Or better yet, if you're not going to talk about it this fall, because we all know what'll happen. He'll get a call from Mark Silverman, who runs Fox Sports, who's a Wolverine alumnus, and he's going to be told if you like your job, you can't say that. Now, that's where if Herbs had pride or personal constitution, he would just say, keep your job. Roll it up nice and tight and pound it. So if you're not going to say it when it's happening, and you're not going to say it this fall, I don't need to hear you now. And it has nothing to do with the validity of what he's saying. What he's saying is right. But see, this brings me to the other point. A week after everything came down last Friday, and I said to you then, those of you who attached happiness to some mystical fantasy sportsgasm punishment that you thought Michigan was going to get, you were lost because you still believed in things like integrity and rules and accountability. Guys, the sport's a cesspool. The only difference between college football and Washington, D.C. is a football. It's all slime all the time. Both sides of the aisle, all conferences, it's all the same. So my point to you is this. You either get okay with knowing Michigan cheated, it's in writing, and anyone with a brain knows. And in the NCAA report, it said, we have everything we need to give them a multi-year postseason ban, but reasons we're not going to. If that's not okay for you, you're going to live in misery. You got to let it go because no one's going to do anything. 9 letters define what will or won't happen as it pertains to a Big Ten blue blood in 2025. NBC, CBS, FOX. That's it. So Urban can do whatever he wants to do, but when you have a platform on national television and you are a national championship coach, you know what? Use that platform. Or don't waste my time with one of your D-list ones. That's the problem I have in all of this. All these national types, they never want to do anything until there's 18 bullets in the body. And then they walk by number 19. I mean, come on. Herbs, hit the dance floor again. Just get out. Now, show me Big Noon Kickoff. He has that same energy. Show me he does that and he goes to war with Charles Woodson and Portnoy. Well, then you'd have actual theater on television. And before anybody gets unwound about it, hey, if you're thinking I'm going to put Urban out as some scion of integrity, I'm not. He's very similar to Harbaugh. Hell of a football coach, kind of a fraud. I'm not sorry if that hurts your feelings. It's reality. But I don't need to hear you going on a podcast and doing that when you won't use your national television platform for it. That's ridiculous. And that's, listen, I'm sure he's making an incredible living. He doesn't need the money. It is immaterial. You can love me. You can hate me. But, man, I'd like to think the one thing you at least come to an agreement on is I'm honest. I just tell you how I feel. And whether it upsets you or not, I don't really worry about that. I just tell you what I feel. And I try to keep everybody to the same standard, including my bum-ass school. But, man, stuff like that wraps up every problem I have with this industry currently. You didn't say boo. You wouldn't even break wind on this topic over the last 2 years on a national platform. You were nowhere to be found. And I'm willing to bet Kenny caught a U.S. dollar. He ain't going to say boo this fall. Then I don't need to hear this. Whether he's right, wrong, or otherwise. And is he right? Yes, he is. Because the NFL already had those statements. But again, if you're attaching your hopes to anything in this world, the right thing happening, you're lost. That's why I never thought Michigan would get hammered. All I needed was the proof that they cheated. Because then I don't have to care. So that's all. David, I mean, obviously, I know you don't like Urban Meyer, and that's totally fine. Do you at least understand what I'm saying and why I'm saying it?
Yes, I completely understand why you're saying it. Because Big Noon Kickoff will be at Ohio State next week. I'm not even sure they actually bring up the Michigan thing, to be honest.
No.
I'm afraid they won't do it at all.
If the Big Ten won't even comment on it, you think Fox is?
So
Fox, CBS, and NBC got everything they wanted because of Blue Blood didn't have to pay any price. The financial fine is just proof they cheated, but it doesn't hurt them. Like if I've got to hear any more of this dreck coming out of Ann Arbor, oh my God, the money could cause layoffs. Really? Kind of like Santana was looking for a gig. You know who hired him? Larry Ellison. They'll be fine.
Yeah, so he's not going to say anything. He's just going to use that platform.
Then don't do this.
Yeah, I hear you.
Second of all, here's the other thing. You know, if you're going to waste time talking about it as a former head coach with a national championship, why the hell are you focused on Harbaugh getting suspended with the Chargers? Say the quiet part out loud. NCAA had him dead to right for a 2-year bowl ban, and they chose a financial penalty instead. Meanwhile, Tressel had no idea what was going on at Ohio State with a couple players getting tattoos. The guy lost his job, his legacy, his dignity, and got a suspension in the NFL. I'm sorry, did pants for tattoos affect games? No. This affected games. But Urban doesn't tackle that. It's the ultimate in low-hanging fruit. It's silly. Who the hell's walking around today as a Buckeye, a Spartan, a Golden Domer, a Nittany Lion, or anything, and spends 10 seconds thinking about Jim Harbaugh getting suspended with the Chargers? You got to be insane. Never happening. And who cares? It means nothing. That's not a penalty that matters. All that would be is spite. That'd be Larry David with the dry scones. That doesn't do anything for what went down. So it's such a weird thing to take time on a week later. Meanwhile, he'll sit there blank-faced as Charles Woodson's waving a Michigan flag saying we got away with it, doing the helicopter. Okay? And you think I care what you say on a podcast? Come on, man. If you want to be that guy, be that guy. Just say it. And it's been open season on Michigan, by the way. Sparty. No. A lot of non-Sparties have had a lot to say. It's called the rest of America. Don't look at me. We haven't talked about it since the day. I told you it's done. This Urban thing, it's me admonishing Urban. I'm not reinvestigating the misdeeds. It's been open season on Michigan football for a week. And the only guy who wrote something nice about him is also a guy who made up that people were at a game 20 years ago and somehow kept his job. It was almost mythical. So I just, you want to be that guy, Herbs? It's kind of open season. Say it. Say the good stuff. Don't waste time about Jim Harbaugh being suspended with the Charger. Who cares? So silly. David, you're smiling. Did I say something wrong?
Not at all.
Sometimes when you look that way, it's like, did I say a potty word? And did David have to hit the dump button? Did I space out there? 248-539-9797. So if you want to go after the Urban Meyer thing, go for it. But the other angle of this is the SEC playing the 9 conference games. That seems like an olive branch to get a unified playoff thing done with the Big Ten. But the next step is the Super League. So you can comment on both of those. Get a football today in the mix as well. And David, I know we can't do picks today, but there are college football games, plural, and it is Travers weekend. So I can give you 3 picks plus a Travers thing. Just, as Kenny's family likes to call it, it'll be the Hors d'Ivoire of football season. What? Kenny, come on.
I'm just waiting for it. Because you know what I'm surprised? I'm actually surprised it took till the 3 o'clock hour for you to get into that.
Listen,
because I got you in the first hour with the barbershop.
You're right. You're right.
I've said nothing about the possum stew. Nothing. We let it go. Let's continue.